Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome back here to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. My name is Hunter on this Sunday, December the 7th, 2025. A winter storm did bring us several inches of accumulating fluffy snow across the Midwest and parts of the Great Lakes last night. I was digging out from the snow. We're going to be showing you snow pictures here in just a moment, and we're going to look ahead to more winter storms as a snowy December continues across the United States and a major Arctic blast that is set to blast the United States as we go into next weekend. What those temperatures and wind chills will be like, we're going to get the latest information to you as we go through the video, so make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll keep you covered across North America, especially Canada and the United States here in my videos to come. Thank you all for being here on this Sunday. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful weekend out there so far. Here's the snow pictures from this morning from outside my house in northern Illinois. And wow, we've had a lot of snowfall here so far early this winter season. If you want snowfall, you come to northern Illinois. It is the snow capital so far of the United States, apparently. And we have about 18.3-inch snow depth so far in especially my backyard. And look at the back steps here. Very, very heavy snow. At least it was fluffy snow, so it was easy to remove this morning when I did get up and remove that with the snowblower. But here's the snow. We're going to start in the west. We'll go in the central, and then we'll look in the east here for the next couple of days. Lots of precipitation here in the Pacific Northwest this Sunday afternoon. And the higher elevations, the ski resorts going to be loving the snow here over the next couple of days. Very heavy snowfall. In the green, though, very heavy rain. So Seattle, Portland could be seeing some very heavy rainfall as we go through the day on Monday, as an atmospheric river is set to take shape across the PNW, the Pacific Northwest, as we go through the next 48 hours. Looking at the central United States here this afternoon, got some snow flurries, snow showers roaming across the landscape there in the Dakotas, including parts of the Black Hills region. That's not really much that is going to concern for travel. And then going into Monday morning, looking here at the day for, say, school or going to work, looks to be a-okay, especially if you brushed off your car from any snow last night. But more snow is ticketed for areas of Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, into western Upper Peninsula, Michigan there, maybe some lake enhancement off Lake Superior. This is another clipper system that's going to be moving through Monday afternoon and evening that eventually will be moving into areas of Marquette, Traverse City, and maybe even Grand Rapids as we go into the evening hours and overnight there Monday into Tuesday, and then a wintry mix of precipitation up into North Dakota Tuesday morning. Now as we look in the east, lake effect snow is big here as we go into the afternoon. We are seeing quite a bit of those lake effect snow bands. Those will take hold as we even go into the evening hours. Snow overspreading parts of upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and western Maine. While we look to the south in southern Georgia and northern Florida, some very heavy rain bands moving through down there and additional rain. And then look at this winter storm as we go here into Monday morning across portions of the mid-Atlantic, including into Virginia, West Virginia, northwestern portions of North Carolina, eastern Kentucky, Smoky Mountains vicinity of eastern Tennessee could get some snowfall as well. Very similar area that got the previous winter storm could see more snowfall as we go from Monday afternoon through Monday evening. That'll be a quick hitting system, and then again that clipper system up there in Michigan will produce some snow into Tuesday morning. So as far as the systems go, that's what it looks like here over the next couple of days. Very active weather pattern as you see that winter storm across the mid-Atlantic. We got that clipper system up here in the upper Midwest, and the atmospheric river across the Pacific Northwest giving us some very heavy flooding rains and higher elevation snow that will be adding up in feet. And here are the numbers. Here's the snowfall totals through 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning, December 9th, and some heavy snow there for the Pacific Northwest, the Cascades, and the Rockies here in Idaho, Montana, and western Wyoming. The clipper system could give us a general 1 to 3 inch snow of some lighter fluffy snow across portions of southern Canada from Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba, northern parts of Minnesota. southwestern portions of Ontario, and then the Great Lakes region with some lake enhancement to that, so those totals could be a little bit higher in some localized areas, and then some New England snow as well. And then we're watching West Virginia and Virginia, parts of northwestern North Carolina that could get a general 1 to 3 inches of snow as well with our winter storm Monday afternoon through Tuesday morning. Here's the rainfall, very heavy in the Pacific Northwest, atmospheric river in full fledged here across Seattle and into Portland. Could be seeing potentially over 6 inches worth of rainfall between now and Tuesday morning. And then northern Florida, Gainesville, down here into Jacksonville, the Big Bend area of Florida, all the way to Tampa, could be seeing a couple of inches of rain, 2 to 3 inches worth between now and Tuesday morning as well. But it's the Pacific Northwest that the flash flooding risk is really going to be heightened here. Weather Prediction Center has a slight risk of flash flooding there, including Seattle and Portland as we go from Monday into Tuesday. And then that just continues through the week. Tuesday into Wednesday, another slight risk, mainly in Oregon, but southwestern Washington state as well. And then that's just going to continue all the way through the end of the week. So watching out for those areas. Here is the rest of the week. Again, a Clipper system track. We're going to have another stronger Clipper system moving through portions of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan as we go from Tuesday into Wednesday. Look at that. Another big system in the Pacific Northwest. That's going to be another Clipper system to move through the northern plains, upper Midwest from Thursday into Friday. And then Friday into Saturday again through the Midwest, Ohio Valley. And this is going to be the fluffy snow because the colder air is going to keep that snow and powdery and very dry. But here is the additional snowfall. This is the national blend of models. This puts all of the models together into a mean, and this is what you look at here going through the middle of December. And we could be seeing some very heavy snowfall across the Pacific Northwest and even our friends to the north in Canada, British Columbia, the Vancouver area could be seeing some very heavy snow. Southern Canadian prairies, Alberta, Saskatchewan, southern Manitoba, and Ontario could be seeing some pretty good snows. Northern plains, upper Midwest, lake effect snow going to be big here as well through mid-month. And then some New England snow as well, especially north and west of the I-95 corridor, and some cold air damming giving us some winter storms potentially there into the mid-Atlantic as well, into West Virginia, including the Appalachians, Virginia, and then northern and northwestern North Carolina, including parts of the Smoky Mountains getting some snow as well through mid-month. Where the heavy rainfall is going to be persistent is that atmospheric river in the Pacific Northwest, but also watching northern Florida for potentially a couple more inches of rainfall through mid-month. But yeah, it's the Pacific Northwest, double-digit rainfall totals of up to 20 inches, folks. That is 20 inches of rain through mid-month. That could cause some serious flooding, so make sure you're watching out for flash flood warnings in and around western Washington near Seattle, western Oregon into Portland, Eugene, and Medford. Those areas could see some real heavy rainfall. Obviously, the rest of this in the Cascades and northern Rockies, say in like Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, this isn't rain, this is likely snow as it's colder in the higher elevations. Now, our temperatures are going to play a big factor in our weather pattern as well as we head especially into next weekend. The tropospheric polar vortex setting up shop here in southeastern Canada over the Hudson Bay, and it's going to continue to remain locked in place and getting even stronger, I should add, as we go into next weekend. And it has ties to the stratospheric polar vortex as well. So as we go into next weekend, notice the stratospheric polar vortex is going to be tapped into as well. So this is going to give us the most extreme temperatures that we have seen so far this winter as far as cold air is concerned. And over a fresh snowpack, we just laid down several more inches of snow on already a deep snowpack in the Midwest. A 1041 high pressure is going to cause some problems as far as cold air is concerned. Already feeling some of that cold air here. If you're heading up to Lambeau Field to the Green Bay Packers Chicago Bears game this afternoon, make sure to bundle up. Going to be a cold one out there. I'm sure a lot of the eastern United States, any of those NFL games out there with the Baltimore Ravens, the Cleveland Browns, stuff like that, going to be cold, so make sure to bundle up as we go into the afternoon. And then going through the week, notice a lot of the warmer temperatures are remaining out west. We continue that cross-polar flow across southern Canada into the eastern U.S. And then that significant stemming from the stratosphere into the troposphere, that stratospheric polar vortex, the tropospheric polar vortex working in conjunction together and giving us some of the most extreme cold temperatures we've seen of the winter season, especially by next Saturday morning, as we could be 55 degrees below normal there there into the Midwest and the Ohio Valley, and that continues into Sunday, where we could again be 50 degrees below normal there in the Midwest, right over that fresh snowpack, where areas out west of the Continental Divide are a lot warmer. How cold are those temperatures going to be? Well, here's Friday morning on December 12th. We're touching 40 below here in North Dakota and 30 below in Minnesota. And it gets even worse as we go into Saturday morning. Widespread 20 to 30 below zero wind chills across much of the upper Midwest, into parts of the Ohio Valley in the teens below zero with those wind chills next Saturday morning. And then going into Sunday morning again, 20, 30, even 40 below zero wind chills, favoring the northern plains and upper Midwest, enhanced by that snowpack and that strong high pressure system right over it here with light winds. Now, as we go into the third week of December, Sunday the 14th, which is next Sunday, a week from today, through the following Sunday, the 21st of December, a low pressure trough going to continue to pivot its way across portions of the Arctic Circle and then down here into Western Canada. That ridge that's out west will start to slowly shift eastward with time as we go into the third week of December. But that cross-polar flow, folks, is going to be alive and prevalent as we go into the third week for most of the same areas. Southern Canada, the Great Lakes region, and into the Northeast. And then areas in the Southwest and Southern U.S. are going to be milder with that ridge, and the lack of snow cover will keep us a little bit warmer. Looking as far as the 7-day precipitation between the 14th and the 21st of December, we're looking at some very heavy precipitation out west. Some of that could have a tendency to move a little further south into Northern California as well, and then starting to see some moisture picking up here in the east, a little bit drier in the south central plains going into the third week of December. That Clipper system storm track with our few inches of snow will continue, mainly a little bit further north towards portions of the Great Lakes region and southern Canada, but it'll still be there. And then some heavy mountain snow out west, the Cascades, the Rockies, and maybe the Sierras start to get in on the fun as well into the third week of December. Now let's look at the long range forecast. Now this can change a little bit, so stay tuned with that, but it does look like a very cold, very snowy end to December, so towards the new year. And then once we get past the new year, a very strong piece of cold air into Western Canada may actually move into the Pacific Northwest. I know it's been very mild and it will continue to be across the west for the next couple weeks, but once we get into early January, especially by the second week of January, I truly feel a big pattern change is on the way, where we're going to see colder air out here in the west, and that ridge is going to slide eastward, so we'll have a southeastern ridge, and that really will set up an active battle zone between warmer temperature south and very cold Arctic Siberian air north, and that's a recipe for a strong low pressure system to develop. So going through the last week of December, through New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, we're going to see that Clipper system track really from southern Canada into the upper Midwest, New England, Great Lakes region like we've been seeing. Lake effect snow could be pretty good with this pattern. Also some Pacific Northwest moisture as well with the Cascades and Northern Rockies. Now as we go into the first week of January, notice the snow line comes back south, right? And it comes far south into the Sierras and Central Rockies now. So now we're talking Nevada, Utah, Colorado, the Sierras in California, and more of the Midwest, Great Lakes, and New England. And then by the middle portion of January, a lot more of us are going to be getting in on the fun there from the west into the central United States, with some bigger snowstorms potentially cutting through the middle of the country. And look at the jump here as we go between now and the 7th of January. This is a pretty good snow. This is still the snow to come. And then look at the big jump in numbers. Look at that. Wow. It's like a paint bomb here across portions of the west, where we see a lot of snow. And then you see that across the Midwest, Great Lakes, and New England, and even some Ohio Valley snow as well cannot be ruled out in this pattern. So yes, a white Christmas for many folks, a white New Year, and we're just going to continue with the snowfall as we go through the middle portion of January, and we're going to keep you covered on that right here on the channel. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you are covered with the latest winter weather information we provide to you. You can follow me on Facebook for more quick weather updates, snow pictures, stuff like that. That will be in the description down below the video, and also pinned to the top of the comment section down below the video. How do you feel about this upcoming winter weather pattern? I want to hear from you in the comment section down below, so leave me a comment down below the video. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful and warm rest of your weekend out there.